Right, so I thought the easiest way to show you how I would work out percentages is to give you a couple of examples. So for example, to keep it easy first, what I'm going to suggest is that we work out, um, let's use 50 equals 100%, okay? So if we know that 50 equals 100%, if we make that 10 times smaller, I can literally just knock a zero from each. Okay, so get rid of that, get rid of that. 5 equals 10%. Okay, I can only do that if it works on both sides. But now I've worked out what 10% is, I can easily work out what 20% is by just doubling the 10%. So if I times that by 2, that would give me 20%. And because I've times the 10% by 2, I have to times the 5 by 2 as well. So that would give me 10. Okay. Now what I could do is work out what 5% is. So 5% is going to be half of the 10%. So this time I'm going to divide that by 2. Okay, so it'll give me 5%, which means 2.5 equals 5%. Okay, hope this is making sense so far. My next question could be, what's 25%? So what I'd do is I'll take the 20% and the 5% and add them together. So that would mean that 25% is going to be 10 plus 2.5. So that equals 12.5. Okay. And then I can keep using this logic all the way around to work out the bits which are missing. So for example, say I need 80%. What I might do is start with 50%, which is going to be half of 100%. So 25 equals 50%. I haven't actually got to 20% yet, so let's work out 20%. So that's just going, oh yes, I have. Sorry, it's right in front of me, it's there. So 20% is 10, 10% is 5, and 50% is 25. So if I add those three together, it would give me 80%, 40. Okay, let's work out another one. Say I was asked for, we work out 2, okay, so let's work out 2% as another example. If we know that 20% equals 10, again, if I take a 0 from there and a 0 from there, that means 1 equals 2%, okay? Or I could have just divided both sides by 10. Now I know what 2% is, I could be asked something like 98%. So what I could do is, because 98 is 100, take away 2%, I can do 50, take away 1, which means that 49 equals 98%. I hope that makes sense. Let's do another example just to be sure. Let's say that this time, let's say 56 equals 100% this time. Let's go a little bit harder. Actually, quite a bit harder. Okay, so again, let's start with working out 10%. So 10%. This time what I'm going to do is move the decimal point 1 space along because I need it to be 10 times smaller. So that's going to be 5.6. Okay. 1%, if I need to work that out, I just move the decimal point along once more. So that becomes 0.56 equals 1%. Okay. If I want to work out half of it, so 50%, I'll work out half of 56. That's going to be 28. Okay, let's imagine we need quarter. So that's going to be half 28. So that's going to be 14 equals 25%. Okay, so it's all about manipulating the information you've already got. Have a look to see what you've got and then use that to work out the next bit. So say I was asked, let's say 16%. Oh, that sounds hard, but actually I've got 28 equals 50%, which means 5% is going to be 10 times smaller. So that's going to be 2.8. So 2.8 equals 5%. So I can't remember what I said, 16%. So if we go with this, 5%, 10%, 1% and add those together, the percentages come to 16%. And the actual number is going to be 5.6, 2.8, and 0.56. So that's going to be 6, 8.96. Okay, that was quite a tricky example, but I hope it all makes sense. Any questions at all, please do ask, and enjoy the resources.